With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, Split Decision Racing fires things off here at Homestead Miami Speedway. 95-minute timed event here in the Ackerman Aviation Group into being Split Decision Racing Triple Threat 2021 season number 2 underway. Already well into the season. I believe this is the 6th or 7th race. I'd have to check my calendar again. 7th to be exact, in the bag here tonight. Track temperature pretty cool here for Homestead Miami Speedway, just outside of both Homestead and Miami, kind of located right in the center of both of those beautiful cities down here in beautiful sunny Florida. No sun out here tonight as we race under the lights. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the cave, bringing you all the calls from the track. We've got a ton of drivers out here tonight. A ton of drivers in those Cup cars, Xfinity cars, as well as those Gander outdoor RV trucks, also on track here tonight. And it's a little bit of a mixed bag throughout the top 15. Although we do see those Gen 6 Cup machines at the top once again. We'll go ahead and throw some of your qualifying information up to the left-hand side of your screen over there to let you follow along just like we do up here in the production booth. There, oh, well, that's your race information. Apologize. There you go. Tyler Rush in the 27 machine sits on the provisional pole right now. John Nichols right behind him. Richard Reinmuller, Ryan Johnson, Lucas Gortman, Dave Gilbert, Thomas Myers, Chris Wheeler. Those are the top Gen 6 Cup drivers. Only a few left in the field to put down their time lap. Jorge Canales, top of the speed charts for the truck class. He's going to sit in that 9th position, and they are ahead of quite a few of the Xfinity drivers. Michael Gitchell looks like he is the first driver in the Xfinity class on the speed charts, sitting right around that 14th position. Jacob Hirsch out on his time lap. Tell you what, why don't we get a little bit closer to watch Jacob get around the track. Bring you a little bit of qualifying action here. Jacob riding that 13 Chevy Silverado. He's on his first time lap. Came around, took the green flag last time around. He'll put down his first official time lap this time as we roll 4 minutes off of the stopwatch in this 10-minute qualifying session. 23 drivers already on the scoring charts. Hirsch gonna jump to last on the speed charts. 34.78. That is about 2.3 seconds off of the pace set by Tyler Rush. So those Cup cars definitely fast on the track here tonight. This 1.5 mile oval kind of lends its hand to the package that is inside of those Cup cars, so look for them to be at the front for the majority of the night. Hirsch off of turn 4, gonna cross the stripe this time around. Can he improve? Where does he improve to? Let's take a look, see, where's he go? Where's he go? He goes to 21st. A little bit of an improvement there, but not enough to break inside of the top 15 or the top 10. Looks like Patrick Anderson out on a time lap. Matthew Lutz, as well as Nate Johnson. Richard Crane out on a time lap. Let's jump out there with the 88 Ford Mustang, piloted by that Into Being sponsored Nate Johnson, up there riding the rim, the Larson line here on his first time lap. Right at the halfway point through qualifying here tonight. We've got 26 drivers on the speed charts. We've still got about 10 to 12 left to put down their timed lap. I want to give a big shout out to a driver taking a back seat here tonight up in the race control and admin booth. Joshua Sousey. Sousey usually out there on the track, but tonight he's got a job to do. Johnson down the back stretch into turn number 3. He'll complete his first time lap this time around, still running that Larson line here at Homestead. And you see where a few of the drivers got into that outside wall during happy hour. Where does Johnson go? And doesn't, excuse me, doesn't look like that lap's going to count for Johnson. Looks like he actually scraped the outside wall. We see some and hard impact for Johnson. That's going to spell trouble for his qualifying effort. There you can see right now, rolling off a pit road in that red Exalta Chevy Camaro, Richard Crane going to try to move his Xfinity machine up onto the scoring pylon. 26 drivers listed out there. Caleb McCarthy, Nathan Manwaring, Brian Crocker, as well as Nate Johnson, who we've seen on screen have some trouble yet to get out there on track. The 68 of Dave Desbarrios yet to get out there on track as well. Lutz, Crane, Fonseca, and Ramsdell all on track, all laying down a qualifying lap. We'll see where they shake out. Lutz going to jump in just outside the top 20. He's going to go 21st with his first time lap. Richard Crane on screen, the 36 Exalta, going to work off of turn 4. He'll come around, put down his first time lap with just 3 minutes to go. McCarthy jumping into her Cup car. She's going to get ready for her time lapse with just about 2.5 minutes remaining. It's going to be close for some of these drivers to get in both of their time laps. We've seen that second lap be the fastest as Matthew Lutz breaks inside the top 15. He's going to go to the 13th position. Tyler Ziegler back there in 26th. Richard Crane back to 30th now as Ramsdell puts down his time lap. Back across the stripe, second time lap. Does Richard Crane improve? No, going to stay right there in 30th. Let's take a look now back at the 24 of Caleb McCarthy. See where McCarthy ends up shaking out. Seeing your points leader for the Gen 6 Cup cars out there on track tonight. Looks like Luke Smith not here. Joshua Souncey also taking some time away from the racetrack. Looks like both of your top 2 drivers actually in the Cup standings not going to make it out there to the starting grid here tonight. McCarthy going to jump inside the top 10. She'll go 9th with her first time lap. 1.5 minutes now remaining here in qualifying. Now looks like McCarthy will round out the qualifying efforts for us here tonight. Will she be able to top Tyler Rush at the top of the speed charts? Rush with a quick time tonight, 32:48. Crossing the stripe, she's going to break into the top 5. McCarthy going to jump to 4th on the speed charts. We'll step back and away as she begins to bring her machine to pit road. We're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Head trackside for your national anthem, so don't go anywhere, race fans. We will be right back.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the
And back trackside as drivers begin to make their way to the starting grid down on pit road. Familiar sounds, those bells ringing in the background. It's time to run down tonight's official starting the lineup for the Susie's Water Barrel 95. Right here for Split Decision Racing Triple Threat Series, starting inside row number 1, the 27 of Tyler Rush. Just to his outside, the 35 of Andrew Turner. Back in row number 2, 41 of John Nichols and Caleb McCarthy. Richard Mueller and Ryan Johnson back in row 3. Row 4 here tonight, the 17 of Lucas Cortman, the 81 of Dave Gilbert. Thomas Myers and Chris Wheeler back in row 5. Row 6 tonight, Thomas Teagan and Jorge Canales. Row number 7 is Jonathan Guzmano and Matthew Lutz. Vinny Tabby and Lee Overton back in row 8. Row number 9 here tonight belongs to Justin Gibbs and Michael Gitchell. John Humphrey and Jeffrey Ramsdell round out row number 10, and your top 20 back in 21st starting position, the 11 of Josh McKinney. 16 of John Peterson going to start in the 22nd spot. 23rd goes to Patrick Anderson. Adam Beneful right there in 24th. A little bit further behind them, there's the rest of the field, the rest of your rundown as the base car getting ready to duck off. We're going to get set to go green flag racing. Once again, under the lights, green flag flies as Rush nails the loud pedal. Green flag here at Homestead. Down into turn 1, big mix-up amongst the front of this field. You can see them all over each other right now. The 41 of John Nichols looking for a position. He's up 1 spot. Andy Turner falling back. Whoa, big wiggles hard and back for the 77. Thomas Myers eats the outside wall, and he is going to fall well deep into the field. Oh my gosh. Andy Turner moving backwards right now, but biggest loser on lap number 1, the 77 of Thomas Myers. He drops 21 spots after eating the outside wall. Coming off of turn number 2, no caution flag. Wouldn't see one anyway unless the field, or track I should say, absolutely covered and turned into a parking lot. We'll keep our eyes at the front as Richard Mueller moves into that second spot with Caleb McCarthy tucked in right behind him. Only local yellows, that's why you wouldn't see the caution flag fly. Only local yellows here tonight with the Split Decision Racing Triple Threat Series. So if the track's clogged up, then we would see a full course caution thrown by our race control and admins just down the hall and across the way. Joshua Sousey pulling duties here tonight, trying to keep everything straight. We've got a breakaway at the front of the field. These 7 drivers have themselves a 1.3 second advantage over this man who's kind of all by himself right now. He's got a few drivers tucked in behind him. Dave Gilbert in the 81 machine running a special number here tonight. Thomas Teagan right there as well. Jonathan Guzmano, Jorge Canales still sitting in that 12th spot. Vinny Dabby up 2 positions. He's in 13th. 15th to John Humphrey. Michael Gitchell getting by Lee Overton for 16th that time around. Ryan Mueller going to get by Tyler Rush at the front. So there's a lead change and a battle at the front with these Gen 6 cars. Ryan Mueller takes over the top spot. Rush to the top of the speedway. Ryan Mueller down to the bottom. McCarthy looking to eat him up on exit. She looks to the bottom of the raceway. Coming down to cover it is Ryan Mueller. He's going to snake back up to the top of the track. We're going to have 3 different entries into turn number 3 this time as McCarthy still trying to get by Tyler Rush. Right behind her, you've got Ryan Johnson. Tiny Horse in tow. He's running in that 5th position. John Nichols back in 6th. Lucas Cortman right there in the 17 machine. We've got a hard fall battle right here at the front. 3 drivers, no the tail at the bottom. We've got 3 at the top. Ryan Mueller trying to play a little bit of the draft game here trying to get out of the way a little bit from McCarthy, but that's going to open the door for her down in the turn 3 with big help from Ryan Johnson on the bottom. They move to the front. McCarthy going to take the top spot away now. That's going to be our third different overall race leader so far, as McCarthy takes the top spot, not just in the Cup class, but overall here tonight. Ryan Johnson now looks to the bottom of the raceway, 3 wide for a moment. They'll sort it out. Ryan Mueller gets by Rush, and then Johnson gets by Ryan Mueller. They're going to snack up on the outside lane, all nose to tail, back to turn 3. Crazy great racing action at the front. We've got some great racing action near the rear, watching Lee Overton and Jeffrey Ramsdale, Patrick Anderson all going at it. We've got trucks and Xfinity drivers mixed up in the field with each other right now, with a very long way to go left in this race. Just about at the 5-minute mark, just over 4 minutes to be exact. Ticking off the stopwatch, we've still got ourselves about 90 minutes left to go. These drivers are going to be hard pressed to keep these machines clean, and I would expect to see that seafoam green ocean breeze wall marked up a little bit more than what it already is. Not much to say about what's going on to the front in the Cup class. McCarthy still leading Johnson, so we're going to stay back here with this Xfinity battle as they close in on Michael Lutz, John Humphrey, Jonathan Kuzmano just off in the distance in front of this small battle that continues to rage on. Ramsdale to the middle of the track, up and to the outside wall, scraping the wall, getting a little bit of a Darlington stripe, if you will. We'll call it the Homestead kiss. I believe we'll see a few drivers with some kissy marks all over their machines, beat up and banged already. That 54, I believe that's the 54, yes it is, of Michael Lutz there. Matthew Lutz on the outside lane, he's had a little bit of contact, the rear end pushed in as well, so Lutz has somehow ended up with damage, not just on the front of the car, but also on the back. John Humphrey looking to get by Michael Gitchell just off in the distance. We'll look at this battle rage for a second. Gitchell in that 48 Xfinity ride. He's got Humphrey right behind him. Humphrey in just the plain Jane blue and black 4 paint scheme here tonight. Ooh, close racing action there. Ramsdale and Anderson side by side with each other. Let's take a look at this one real quick. 54 wounded right here, and you can see him struggling at the top of the speedway. The 14 going to make his way to the inside, and Overton going to grab a spot away. Looks like John Peterson getting by Justin Gibbs. That's back for 25th. 30th on the track is Jacob Hirsch, who's made a move. Kenneth Fonseca getting by Josh Beaver. That's for 27th. There is action everywhere, race fans. Let's jump just for a second. Let's go back and check out the battle going on at the front of the field. Things have not sorted themselves out just yet between John Nichols, Tyler Rush, and Lucas Gortman. They're battling with each other 3 wide at times through the center of these corners. And Andy Turner in the 35, you can see him in tow right there. Looks like Turner's had some up close and personal action with the outside wall, right side a little bit scraped up already here tonight. Very early, very long way to go, just about 7 minutes into this 95-minute timed event. These drivers, they've got a long night ahead of them. I mean, that's a very long time to be racing here at this 1.5-mile track, and it's not an easy track. Homestead's not necessarily an easy track, even though it does have the progressive banking. You're able to lean on that banking from the bottom to the top of the track. It kind of works with you the entire way up the track, increases just a little bit as you get up the track. Really lets you lean on the car a little bit more than your traditional oval tracks do, but that's also what gets people, or can get you in trouble. A false sense of security, so to speak. The car feels like it's there, it feels like it's fine, and then 1 minute it may just snap around the other. You may eat the outside wall, like we've seen that 77 of Thomas Myers do. Myers already down to pit road. He's fixed up his machine and got back out on track, but he is multiple laps down very early here tonight. Fortunately enough for him and his crew, we will see a stage break 30 minutes into this 95-minute timed event. McCarthy and Ryan Mueller stepping away from the field right now. John Nichols in tow, just behind Ryan Johnson. There you can see Johnson just off up in the distance. 1, 2, 3 on track, and they are starting to step away. Already running into some back markers too. You can see right there just off in front of them. I believe that's the 5 of Adam Dahl. Going down a lap, and indeed Dahl gonna fall victim to the race leaders. He'll be off of the lead lap. That's gonna leave Tyler Ziegler as the last driver on the lead lap, back in the 30th position. We'll jump around the raceway a little bit more, bring you some more of these battles, some of these close quarters racing action all over the track, and we're starting to get some heavy lap traffic for your race leader now. Around Tyler Ziegler, Matthew Lutt's going to get gobbled up. The 18 now within striking distance. Josh Beaver gonna, ooh, close there for McCarthy. That's going to open up the door for Ryan Mueller, and Ryan Mueller going to stick it in there, and he's going to grab the top spot. 3 wide down into turn 1. They're going to split the 13. My gosh, that's what you call some crazy great racing action here in the split decision triple threat. Just off in the distance, we've still got John Peterson, Nathan Manwaring, Justin Gibbs. They're going to be next on the list for these fast race leaders in these Gen 6 cars. And look at this gaggle, look at this mess of drivers battling for positions on the track, battling with each other, and that's going to create a 3 wide situation once again heading down into turn 1. Both of the back markers go to the top of the speedway. That's going to open at the bottom for Ryan Mueller, and he's going to lead McCarthy off of 2. And I don't see the track calming down as far as lap traffic is concerned for quite some time. Ryan Mueller, McCarthy, Johnson, they're all right there running with each other's in each other's tire tracks, and they all got an amazing amount of pace. You can see right there Michael Hayward going down the lap, and John Humphrey next on the list. And then you've got William Klingbeil, who's just about a half a second out in front. So as I was saying, I mean, until they get all the way up into around the likes of Lee Overton sitting in the 11th position right now, 16 seconds behind your race leaders. They're lapping at about 33 seconds a lap, so right about a half a lap down already is the driver sitting just outside of your top 10. McCarthy makes a move, gonna get by Ryan Mueller. Johnson's gonna get by Ryan Mueller as well, put Johnson to second. McCarthy trying to find her way through these back. Whoa, way up the track in the truck. The 3 truck goes right across her nose. That's going to move her from first now to third, and she's going to fall off pace as Ryan Johnson goes to the front for the first time in his Taz Motorsports sponsored 38 machine. Has Ryan Mueller tucked in behind him. Now McCarthy almost a 1 second deficit after big time moment with a back marker. And just like I said, the track's not going to really clear up until they get around the likes of Lee Overton, Dave Gilbert next on the list, as your leaders went right on by that 14. Overton not really holding up progress for those top 2 drivers. And it's going to be quite some time now, I do believe, before these drivers get to Dave Gilbert. I think it's about a 3 second deficit at the time. So, I mean, the possibility of these drivers being put down a lap before we are to that 30-minute mark, that 30-minute stage break, is very possible. And look at Ryan Mueller dig on the bottom, turn the corner turned it down to the bottom, going into the corner, and kept it glued down there on the bottom of the raceway. They'll pull even down the backstretch and back to turn number 3, side by side. One car link separates them from being all over each other and in each other's doors. Big run off of the top of the racetrack. That's going to benefit the 38. Johnson goes back to the point. Here comes McCarthy. She's closed back in right there with the battle for the top spot. Your top 3 all within a half a second. So we'll jump around the track, try to bring you a little bit more of that racing action if you don't mind, or if we can. I don't know anybody that doesn't like some great racing action, so we'll just leave it at that. The 43. On track, getting the job done here tonight, riding right behind that 22 machine. Chris Wheeler sitting in the 8th position. Wheeler trying to, whoa, close quarters. Ooh, boy, that was close for Nate Johnson, as Johnson's trying to make his way around these back markers as well, and he's got to pick up the pace, because your race leaders, they are absolutely flying here tonight. The top 10 drivers are the only drivers left on the lead lap. There you can see it on the left-hand side of your screen. Lee Overton in the 14 Xfinity ride. He is first driver one lap down here tonight. So these Gen 6 cars absolutely on fire. Watching the 11 of Josh McKinney, as he's got some drivers close behind him. Drivers coming to pit road. We've got a rash of drivers to pit road. Lee Overton, Jeffrey Ramsdale, Patrick Anderson, Josh McKinney, Josh Beaver, Richard Crane, Adam Dahl, all going to come to pit road this time around. All of those drivers already off of the lead lap. Vinny Tabby in the 47 truck, he's trying to close in on Justin Gibbs. John Peterson right there running with them, the 16. Running that middle lane, trying to keep that Xfinity machine powered up, but the Toyota Supra having a little bit of pace problems. As now that 16 looks to the bottom of the raceway, not going to quite be able to pull off the pass. I apologize, I think that's the 81. That is the 81 of Dave Gilbert right there trying to get by Gibbs and Peterson. Crazy battles all over this track. We haven't even had a chance to speak about Dave's dollars yet here tonight, race fans. If you can guess the right amount of laps that these drivers are going to be able to put down here tonight in this 95-minute timed event, well, you'll get a shot at winning Dave's dollars right here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network for Split Decisions Triple Threat 2021 Season Number 2. And that's all you got to do. You got to get over here to the YouTube side of things, put it down in the chat. That way we know it's there, we know it's official, and we can track it. And if you can guess the right amount of laps that these drivers are able to put down, well, you're going to walk away from the broadcast tonight just a little bit richer. I mean, after all, it is Dave's dollars, so don't be expecting to retire or anything. But, I mean, you know, we'll see if anybody can walk away with it. If not, the price tag is going to roll over onto next week, and we'll increase that lottery for Dave's dollars right here tonight from Homestead Miami Speedway. Tell you what, race fans, I'm not going to even use the cheat sheet just yet. We'll give that to you. You got to get your picks in before 45 minutes remaining, just to let you know. So you got yourself quite a little bit of time before you have to worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say we're going to get about 168. Why? Well, it just sounds right. 168 laps here tonight. Let's see if these drivers can do it. Let's see if they can prove me wrong. Let's see if they can't put down more than that. McCarthy closing right back in on Ryan Johnson at the front of the field. Richard Reimuller still right there with them as they have put multiple lap drivers 1 lap down the field, 2 and 3 laps down as green flag pit cycles are underway. Michael Hayward in the 12th position in the 12 machine. He's yet to come to pit road. Andy Turner, Lucas Gortman, John Nichols, Richard Reimuller, Caleb McCarthy, and Ryan Johnson yet to hit pit road. 81 of Dave Gilbert peels off down pit road and into his box right side to go up. Fuel can engaged. We're going to drop the right side. Tire changer's down and around to the left. It's up in the air. Gas man shaking his head. The left side tires on and down and away. Oh no, we're seeing a hold on pit road for Dave Gilbert. Ryan Johnson, Reimuller, and McCarthy come to pit road on your screen. 41 of John Nichols. He's going to stay out on track in the Exalta sponsored Chevy Camaro. He's going to bring his ZL1 towards the front. Lucas Gortman right there. Andy Turner in the 35 machine. He's about 7.5 seconds back. Now running in that 3rd position. Dave Gilbert on hold in his box for quite some time. Looks like he got popped with a pit road penalty. Speeding on pit road is what we're hearing. 41 begins to slow. The 17 comes to a crawl as well. Both of those drivers going to head to pit road. What will Andy Turner do? Turner's got some significant damage on the front end of his Chevy ZL1 Camaro. Some damage on that right front as well. And that's going to complete the pit stops as Michael Hayward also going to pit road. So we'll jump back out here with this battle between Richard Reimuller and Ryan Johnson. Whoa, contact! They touch. Reimuller goes way up the track. Reimuller way up the track. All sorts out of shape after contact between him and Ryan Johnson. Tyler Rush and Caleb McCarthy, they're going at it with Reimuller just off in the distance. The 3 machine listed 1 lap down, 2 laps down, I believe, is Thomas Teagan. I'm trying to see who that is right behind Teagan. I believe that may be Nathan Manwaring just behind them, the 24 machine. No, that is not the 24, is it? McCarthy is the 24. That is not Caleb McCarthy. I do not believe. I could be wrong, though. And yes, that is Caleb McCarthy. Looked like the same paint scheme, maybe some teammate action there. But no, paint scheme's a little bit different, as that is the Fort Worth, Texas native, Caleb McCarthy, running well over the past few weeks. We'll see if she can't continue this great run so far this season. Came into tonight's point standings sitting back in the 5th position with Luke Smith and Joshua Sousey both not on track. They're not going to receive points, and McCarthy may find herself sitting pretty at the top of the point standing. She's in front of Nate Johnson as well as Thomas Myers. Myers with some big trouble early here tonight. He's all the way back in the 20th position right now, so she's going to gain quite a bit on Myers. Came into tonight's race actually just 3 points back, so McCarthy, for all intents and purposes, it looks like she's going to walk away from the racetrack with the overall points lead. Patrick Anderson leads Michael Gitchell in the Xfinity Series by 24 points. William Klingbeil sitting back there tied with Gitchell for that 3rd position. Jeffrey Ramsdell quite a bit of a ways back, so the Xfinity Series championship point standings getting a little bit spread out. Then it's another barn burner in the truck class. Matthew Kopp, Josh McKinney, and Jorge Canales all right there, all over each other within just 2 points. 1st through 3rd within 2 points. That's right, 96, 95, 94 in contact. Reimuller and McCarthy touch, and they go around. McCarthy trying to get the car corrected. Reimuller already on the gas and getting on about his business. Drivers going by in a hurry. McCarthy there, you can see the tail end of her machine, beaten, battered, and has seen better days. We wonder what that's going to do to the handling here, if that's going to really spoil her night, or at least the rest of this run. Doesn't look like it's significant enough to come down to pit road, but that has allowed the 35 of Andy Turner to close in to within 1 second. And with that on-track incident, that has allowed this man right here, this driver inside the 38 Taz Motorsports Chevy ZL1 Camaro, going 3 wide at the top of the track around some back markers in the truck class. Ryan Johnson has himself a 2.7 second race advantage over Tyler Rush, who has another 5 seconds over Lucas Gortman. Ryan Mueller now 14 seconds behind your race leader. McCarthy almost 19 seconds down. That was a big time moment for both of them. And with us being right on that threshold, we're about 5 minutes away from seeing the first caution of the night, the first stage break of the evening. We have been at it for 24 minutes straight so far here tonight. Drivers putting down some crazy quick laps. Ryan Johnson leads the field. Let's take a look at your highest running Xfinity class driver sitting in that 14 machine. Lee Overton sitting pretty. Final driver inside the top 10. First driver in the Xfinity class, Ramsdale Anderson, right behind them. I say right behind him, but he's got himself about 7 seconds of an advantage over Patrick Anderson, so over Jeffrey Ramsdale, I should say. So quite a bit of ways before he's going to have to worry about any trouble. You can see Jeffrey right here in that 97 Exalta painted up machine. Patrick Anderson right there behind them. And you can see race leader not too far off in the distance. That's going to put those drivers multiple laps down, as we are now down to just 9 drivers left on the lead lap. See if we can't find your highest running truck class driver 3 wide with the race leader at the bottom of the speedway. He's going to move to the middle. Squeeze play coming off of the bottom. Whew, that's 77 of Thomas Myers right off in front of Ryan Johnson right across the nose. Both the 97 and the 99 go to the top of the track. Let's go check out your highest running truck driver so far here tonight from Homestead Miami Speedway. Inside the 71 Ford F-150 is Jorge Canales. There's just so much going on right now with this being close to the 30-minute stage break. Oh, with the 18 up into the outside wall, that's going to spell trouble for him and his crew. Maybe having to fix on that machine when they get this upcoming stage break. Less than 5 minutes now remain in this opening stage for the Split Decision Racing Triple Threat Series right here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Keeping our eye on your highest running truck class driver. He's trying to make his way up and around some of these Xfinity Series drivers. Jeffrey Ramsdale, Patrick Anderson right there off in the distance. And how about Richard Crane struggling a little bit now, falling victim to a few of these truck class drivers. The 41 of John Nichols going to get by Ryan Mueller now. Nate Johnson passing Chris Wheeler for 8th. That's going to swap back and forth for the moment. Michael Ayward loses the position to Matthew Lutz. Josh Beaver and Richard Crane go at it for 29th on the speedway. 3 wide once again with Ryan Mueller in the middle. Andy Turner going to take the top, going to take that spot away at the bottom of the speedway. There's There's some pace inside of that 35, man. I'm telling you, he is on a move. Almost a tenth faster than your race leader last time around. Tyler Rush was the quickest on track. With just under 2 minutes remaining before we see that stage break, caution flag fly into the outside wall as the 54 hits it once again. Matthew Lutz struggling to keep the race pace so far here tonight. 77 of Thomas Meyer seen early trouble. He's got race leader Ryan Johnson all over him, trying to put him a second lap down here tonight. I believe just the second lap down, and maybe a little bit more. Myers one lap down right now. And I mean, what do you do if you're the 22 of Chris Wheeler? You're just off in front of the race leader. You're trying to keep yourself on the lead lap. You're doing everything that you can possibly do to keep yourself on the lead lap, because you know that stage break is coming up here very, very shortly. You're looking for a little bit of help around you. Josh McKinney right here sitting in the 21st position, the 11 truck, trying to get up and around a handful of other drivers. And 61 of Kenneth Von Sika right there, as well as Nathan Manwaring. Back to Caleb McCarthy, trying to close back in on Richard Ryan-Mueller. She'll work her way through some of these back markers, multiple different classes. Oh, and there is that stage break. That's going to do it. That's going to bring us to a crawl for a handful of minutes here, as everybody gets straightened back out. All the classes will get straightened back out. Drivers down one lap to their respected class leader will receive one wave around, irregardless of lucky dog positions and contention. So a well-welcomed stage break here for multiple drivers, as Ryan Johnson was beginning to stretch his legs on a Sunday drive. You can see he's got himself over a 10-second advantage over Lucas Gortman. And with the field coming to crawl back behind the pace car, that's going to open up pit road. So we're going to get set for our first stage break pit stops. We'll see who fixes any damage and who keeps the cars as they are. And well, with that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Back trackside as the field works their way down the backstretch, getting ready to fire things off here at the beginning of our second stage. First stage already out the window. Ryan Johnson laying down some fast times. He grabbed the most laps led there in stage number one. The field making their Speedway. Single file around turn 3 and 4. iRacing pace car gonna duck off, and we're gonna get set to see the green flag fly once again in the restart box on the gas, and green flag flies for the second time here tonight from Homestead Miami Speedway. McCarthy gonna make a move. She's gonna look to get by Indy Turner. Gonna do so with a relative amount of ease. McCarthy back inside the top 5. Big stack up there between John Nichols and Tyler Rush. They're gonna be a little bit squirrely. Let's take a look at Nate Johnson working his way up through the field. Johnson back in 9th position, but behind multiple drivers still listed 1 lap down here. It's going to be a hard-fought battle for a lot of these drivers to try to get themselves back onto the lead lap. Check out Richard Reimmuller running in the 7th position on the timing and scoring charts over there on the pylon, listed at 7th, but there you can see him mired back in traffic. That's Thomas Teagan in the 3 truck just to his outside. He's got a ton of trucks and Xfinity rides to try to get by after coming to pit road for his final stop under that stage brake caution. And 3 wide through the middle. Ryan Mueller not playing around with these back markers at all. He's going to pick up 2, 3, make it 4 spots, or around four spots within just about a half a lap, and he's wanting more. Gonna go to the bottom and get around the 48 as well as the 99 on the top of the speedway. None of those passes were 4 positions, but check that out. That's about 8 cars in 1 lap. The Spaceball sponsored 92 of Ryan Mueller has been able to get by. He's got a handful of other drivers still to get by here before he will battle for a position on track. We'll stay with this close battle right here, all mixed up, all running with each other. The 11 of Josh McKinney showing up as the 43 on the side of his truck, but we've got it right in the tiny and scoring. No worries about that. 88 of Nate Johnson. He's running 8th so far here tonight, up 25 spots from where he started tonight's race. What a run here tonight by the driver in that 88 into being sponsored Ford Mustang. You can see him right there, 3 wide, bottom of the raceway, making their way back across the start finish line. Once again, they'll stay 3 wide back into turn 1. All 3 classes 3 wide with each other. And I mean, that's got to say something right there. You've got an Xfinity car, a Cup car, and a truck all side by side through the corner. As the Xfinity car and the truck kind of stayed relatively close with each other. You can see them battling still. That 88 machine has just absolutely stepped away, so those Gen 6 Cup cars are very dominant here tonight. They do indeed have that speed and downforce advantage, able to keep the car just wound up and glued to the track, really, as the 3 goes right up the track in front of the 14. That was close right there. That could have ended badly for 2 drivers. Could have ended the run by Chris Wheeler, who runs in the 10th spot. Wheeler back onto the lead lap for the time being. We'll jump around the racetrack just a little bit more. Once again, back up near the front of the field, you can find the 27 of Tyler Rush, Caleb McCarthy going at it with each other still. Back here in the back, we're not going to let this battle go just yet. Wheeler making his way by a few of the back markers as they continue to battle. That's the 11 of Josh McKinney, Thomas Teagan right there running in that 3 machine. They're trying to get by the 48 of Michael Gitchell. Gitchell listed as your highest running Xfinity driver so far here. So the trucks and Xfinity cars right there running with each other. Justin Gibbs, for the time being, has the truck class lead. He sits in 12th. Not much to talk about at the front besides Ryan Johnson stepping out to already a 1 second advantage. John Nichols, Tyler Rush right there. Lucas Gortman starting to battle with Rush and McCarthy. McCarthy hot on the trail, back in the top 5. John Peterson gets by Jeffrey Ramsdale, back for the 21st position. Canales getting by Justin Gibbs to take over the top spot in the truck class. They'll swap that position back multiple times. Looks like it's going to belong to Canales now, as Michael Gitchell getting by McKinney for 16th. They'll switch and swap that position a handful of times. We'll watch this battle unfold on screen. A lot of hungry drivers all packed up, running right here with each other. Drivers on different strategies, drivers with different looks. Oh, in trouble for Teagan. He's in the outside wall. Teagan with trouble in the outside wall, and that's going to slow his run and his progress, and he's going to drop back a handful of positions. A little bit of house cleaning in order here tonight, as we are under that 60-minute remaining mark. 37 drivers took to tonight's Susie Water Barrels 95 right here from Homestead 90 Speedway. We have still got 34 drivers out there on the track, but we are down to just, I believe it is 11, yes, 11 drivers left on the lead lap, and all of those drivers are your Gen 6 drivers. Jorge Canales, highest running truck driver, he is our first car 2 laps down. Nobody just 1 lap down, so that's going to spell trouble for these drivers as they try to get themselves back in the mix for an overall race win. But I believe it's going to come down to all Cup cars at the front. 16 Toyota Supra into the outside wall. Peterson kisses the wall once again. Common theme by a lot of drivers. You see that 81 struggling Dave Gilbert into the outside wall. Some damage on the right side of his machine as well. Wide once again with the 3 different classes on screen. I tell you what, you can't find it anywhere else on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. Where else are you going to find all 3 series of the NASCAR Heavy 10 tops out there on track, running with each other week in, week out? I mean, I can't think of another league that is doing anything like this. Very unique setup here in the Triple Threat Series. We've got those 3 different classes all on track at the same time, as we already spoke about, but we've also got road course and endurance IMSA rules in place, if you will. 95-minute timed event. That means the lap count does not matter. It's just how many they can get done. Only local yellows coming out. That means if there's a caution, if there's a crash and it's off track, well, the caution is not gonna fly. Race admins will not throw a caution flag unless there are multiple drivers involved and the track is pretty jammed up. So a lot of great aspects going into the making and being of this Triple Threat Series. Do want to take a moment to thank each and every one of the sponsors here with the Split Decision Racing Triple Threat Series. Ackerman Aviation Group, based out of Texas. Big shout out to Ackerman Aviation Group coming on board for season number 2. They were with us with season number 1. Also, the McConey Setup Shop. Big shout out to them for being involved and a sponsor this season. Also to Into2B coming back on board once again as one of the primary sponsors throughout the season. Into2B helping with all your medical prototyping equipment essentials, helping you out throughout the entire process of trying to get your idea to come to life and get it used in the medical field, getting you through all the little loopholes and gray areas that sometimes you find yourself stuck in between. Check them on out if you're in the medical equipment side of things, or you've got some great ideas or some prototypes you need a little bit of help with, check out Into Being. Another big shout out to Into the Apex podcast. Also, Turtle Shells Paints. Right there, you can see Tyler Rush and the Turtle Shells crew have multiple wraps out there on multiple different drivers' cars. We've got green flag pit stops underway once again. Drivers coming back down the pit road. Not much of a battle up at the front of the field. We're riding and watching that 41 of John Nichols sitting in the second position. Ryan Johnson has walked away with almost a 2-second advantage over the 41. Lucas Gortman hot on the trail there. You can see that 17 machine up into the mix. Caleb McCarthy not very far. That's the closest battle. One of your only battles on track inside of the top 10 is Tyler Rush and Nate Johnson. They both head to pit road last time around. Here comes the 9 down for service and tires. Benefill brings the car to pit road. Gitchell, Manwaring, Anderson, they're all going to make their way off of pit road, get back up to speed. Nate Johnson also off of pit road, getting back up to speed. Tyler Rush leaving pit road, as well as Andy Turner brings the 35 down for service. Contact, more contact, more contact. 3 different race incidents, and that was involving second, third, fourth, all on the track. Portman, McCarthy, Nichols all caught up involved in that one. The 38 of Ryan Johnson, he's going to enjoy that one, enjoy the fruits of that almost calamity right there for multiple drivers on the lead lap in those Gen 6 Cup cars. Josh McKinney, Michael Hayward, and Adam Dahl all come to pit road this time around, and we are now under that 45-minute remaining mark. So why don't we see how close Dave's going to be? Nobody else out there in the chat wanting to get into possibly winning Dave's dollars here tonight. So, well, we'll see if I can't win my own money. We'll take a look at the old school ticker for just a brief moment. Let's see what's out there. Let's see what's on the screen. How many laps is it going to be? I don't know, as we've still got drivers down onto pit road. 82 laps, and we've got 45 minutes remaining. I don't know. I think I may have overshot my lap count there, turning in my guess with 168 laps. We'll see how close these drivers can indeed get to that. Andy Turner on screen now, making his way around a few of the drivers coming off of pit road. Head back to the timing tower to the left-hand side of your screen. A little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer look in my opinion. Ryan Johnson, race leader, he's going to go ahead and pull the pit road this time around. Split decision racing drivers have been at it for over 50 minutes so far here tonight on this 1.48 mile oval down in Homestead, Florida. Beautiful, usually sunny Florida, but under the lights tonight, got a great breeze rolling off of the ocean. We've seen the track temperature and air temperature before tonight's race. Let's check in on the weather report. It looks like track temperature going up just 1 degree as air temperature has dropped 2 degrees. So we may see a little bit of a nightly shower, something that the Florida natives have kind of come to expect, and I wouldn't say welcome, because it usually gets pretty humid down there in Florida after it does rain. But that nightly rain, late night autumn weather is beautiful, beautiful time down in Florida. I mean, it's, if you don't know, you gotta go find out. big move there by Lucas Gortman. He was almost sideways coming off of turn 4, trying to split some back markers. I believe that's the 3 of Thomas Teagan. Once again, yes, it is, and he's going to go from the bottom all the way to the top of the track for Nichols. Going to make his way right on by. I believe that is Nichols. Is it that? No, that is John Humphrey. John Humphrey, not John Nichols. We do apologize. Nichols up there running the 41 machine inside of your top 10. Last driver inside the top 10. Still one lap down as we are down to just 8 drivers left on this lead lap. Man, I tell you, it's rough sledding if you're not in a Gen 6 car right now. Those cars are just absolutely flying around the track. Most of the field 3 to 4 plus laps down here tonight. We have officially had our 4th driver out of tonight's race. Tyler Ziegler going to check out of the race tonight. He's going to walk away with the 34th position. Richard Reimuller, Thomas Myers, Caleb McCarthy round out this field. And how about that? We can't say enough about that right there. What about the turnaround for this man coming at you? You can still see that 77 beaten up on the right side just a little bit. That right front doesn't quite look right on that 77 machine, but he's got the Ford Mustang running very well after some early hard impact with the outside wall. He was all the way outside of your top 30 at one point in time during his recovery efforts, if you will, and he has found himself running in a great spot now, just on the door of 60 minutes into tonight's race, and he has found himself up inside the top 5, running in second right now, still 13 seconds behind your race leader, still yet to pit for his second time here tonight under green flag pit stop conditions. The 9 to the top of the raceway. He's going to kiss the outside wall. Benefill scrapes the wall down, has a little bit of damage. Yeah, well, what's the strategy here? Because we've seen Ryan Johnson come down to pit road, rejoin the racetrack. Looks like it was just right side tires for Johnson. He's got himself still quite a bit of lead over Caleb McCarthy, just about a second and a half over McCarthy. She's yet to come to pit road here in this second stint. Richard Reimuller yet to come to pit road. Thomas Myers yet to come to pit road. So do these drivers possibly think they have enough fuel? We are very close, under 5 minutes away from our second stage break of the evening, to kind of let these drivers reset before the final 35-minute run for the checkered flag here tonight. Man, I don't know if they've got enough. I mean, that's a long time. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, yeah, it's only 5 minutes, but you're turning in lap times upwards or below, I should say, 35-second laps. So I mean, that's 2 laps a minute. That's 10 laps extra fuel that some of these drivers are going to try to push out of these machines. Looks like Ryan Johnson now into the 3rd position. He came to pit road a handful of laps ago. Lucas Gortman in the 17 also to pit road a handful of laps ago, and both of those drivers have been able to get up and around Caleb McCarthy, who seems to be saving a lot of fuel here, trying to somehow pull out a no stop here during the second stage. I'm not sure it's gonna happen, because there you can see Ryan Johnson just surging right on by Thomas Myers, and that's going to put Myers in the 77 back to the 3rd position. Now Lucas Gortman going to begin to close in, still 2.3 seconds back. How about that 81 of Dave Gilbert off of the lead lap? First driver, I believe, off of the lead. No, last driver only 1 lap down. There you go. That's what we're trying to say, and there you see it. Running in the 11th spot, 1 lap down here is that 81 of Dave Gilbert, and he's trying to keep himself just 1 lap down before the end of this stage. If not, it could spell some big time trouble for him and his hopes here tonight from Homestead, Miami Speedway. As we said, looking at the miles an hour right now, I mean, absolutely, Richard Reimmuller saving gas. It looks like Thomas Myers also saving gas. Kayla McCarthy well off pace here. She's going to drop all the way outside of the top 5, all the way back to the 8th position. She's going to be now listed as one of the drivers nearing 1 lap down. 24 seconds behind your race leader, Richard Reimmuller, who turned in a 34.94 last time around, so that's only about 10 seconds out in front. She's in some heavy, heavy danger. Myers making some evasive maneuvers. We'll jump up a little bit further in the pack. Take a look at the 27 of Tyler Rush now as he makes his way up from the bottom of the raceway into the middle. Now carries it to the high side, looking for a run to try to get by the 88 of Nate Johnson. Johnson going to cover the bottom, trying to use the pick from the 18 truck. It's not going to work out. Rush going to force it 3 wide for a moment through 1 and 2. He'll go back to the top, coming out of turn 2 and back, or turn 4, I should say, back across the start-finish line. They'll stay nose to tail. Back into 1, 3 wide. Back through the pack. Coming off of turn 2. Will stay choked up right here. 3 wide. Not gonna happen no more. 17 of Gortman going to prevail on the bottom of the raceway. The 3 of Tegan goes well up the track. Tegan now 5 laps down, rounding out your top 30. And Reimmuller comes to pit road. Richard Reimmuller comes to pit road just before our second stage caution, and there it is. Caution flag is out. Is he going to be able to keep himself on the lead lap? And if he does, he's going to be able to stay out on the track, and that very well may give him that overall race lead. We may have seen a brilliant move to pit road. And it does look like Reimmuller was able to beat the field off of pit road before losing a lap. You see him right here. He's going to be able to go by the pace car, and how about that? Getting the job done. Man, Reimmuller couldn't have asked to time that any better than what he did. What a move here. He's going to be able to stay out on track, and well, everybody else is gonna come to pit road. He very well may have the overall race lead when we get back trackside after we walk away for just a brief commercial break under our second stage caution of the evening. Gonna let the raceman, the race admin in race control get the field settled out and sorted up. Get ready to go back green flag racing, so don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back with all your green flag action right here from the split decision triple threat. Susie Water Barrels 95 from Homestead, Miami Speedway.
We got big time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're going to lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage.
like your car is toast. You'll need a tow back to pit lane, press and hold your reset button, and we'll come and get you.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Back trackside once again as field gets single file. We'll get set for the green flag for the final run to the checkered flag here tonight in the Susie Water Barrel 95 for the Split Decision Racing Triple Threat Series 17 of Lucas Gortman right behind him. Thomas Myers going to restart in third. Nate Johnson back and forth. And Tyler Rush round out your top five as, caution lights come back on. We're going to go around the track at least one more time. Looks like somebody out of place. Race control and admin's going to try to fix that up. Get everybody back to where they need to be. Why don't we do a little bit of driver highlights and spotlights while we've got ourselves a little bit of slowdown in some of the racing action. Driver sitting at the front of the field in the top spot out of Salem, Wisconsin. The Taz Motorsport driver, Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson, leads the field in the Cup class. Let's jump back now to, I believe, Michael Gitchell running in the Ford Mustang. Gitchell sitting as first driver in the Xfinity class, leading his respected drivers. And just behind him, lining up, there you can see him, Justin Gibbs in a 93 U.S. Army sponsored Chevy Silverado. He leads the truck class of drivers here tonight. So we've got trucks and Xfinity running right there with each other. That's going to do it as we get set to go back. Green flag racing this time around. iRacing predicting 25 more laps. We'll see if they're right about that. Pace car down and away, ready to go on the gas. Green flag flies once again here from Homestead, Miami Speedway. Ryan Johnson gets off to a great start. He'll have a half a second advantage over Lucas Gortman, who's going to have Thomas Myers tucked in with Nate Johnson looking to his outside. That's going to open the door on the bottom of the racetrack for the 27 of Tyler Rush. Nose and tails, 4 positions at the front in the Cup class. Way up the track goes the 35 of Andy Turner. He's going to nail the outside wall. That's going to open up the inside for multiple drivers now as we've got a battle between Gitchell and Gibbs. Gibbs going to prevail on the inside lane. Check out that 93 truck. He wants some more. He's going to try to get by Turner. Jorge Canales, next driver in line in the truck class, sitting in that 14th position. The 71 just off in the distance right in front of John Humphrey. They're battling for second and third in the truck class. Michael Gitchell solidly in the lead of the Xfinity class. Looks like all the way back to 16th to find Adam Benefill, who's just gotten by Josh McKinney. As McKinney gets by John Peterson as well. Tyler Rush getting by Nate Johnson. That's going to be for third position. Rush moving forward. Johnson going to take that third position back away for the time being for Nate Johnson. Look for them to battle it out over and over again. There you can see that 81 of Dave Gilbert. He's moving his way back towards the front of the field, making his way by Justin Gibbs. Gibbs knocking on the door of a solid top 10 here tonight. He sits in 12th, starting to walk away from Gitchell. The 71 minutes into this 95-minute timed event, and time is starting to be the enemy for multiple drivers out there. Lucas Gortman, this man right here, he's trying to run down the 38 of Ryan Johnson. Just 0.3 of a second separate them. Then a big stack up of Cup drivers. Why don't we look at this battle? Nate Johnson right there trying to run down Tyler Rush. He's got the 41 and the 77 tucked in right behind them. Chris Wheeler. And what about the recovery? We've said it already. We talked about it during that second stage. The 77 of Thomas Myers, I had all but written him off. I'm going to be straightforward and honest. I thought after that hard contact, him eating the wall on turn 1 and dropping all the way outside of your top 30, I didn't think we were going to see him back near the front again for the rest of tonight's race. And here we are with just about, what's that, about 20 minutes remaining in tonight's race. Here he is inside the top 5, or knocking on the door of a top 5, I should say, sitting in the 7th position as the 22 of Chris Wheeler gets by. Nate Johnson going to get back to the 5th position. close quarters racing right here. 5 drivers all under a blanket, all trying to get the job done. Who's going to walk away with the advantage? Right now, looks like Ryan Johnson and Lucas Gortman, they're walking away with the advantage. They're still battling with each other, though, at the front of this field. First and second, separated by just about a tenth. Who's going to take the top spot here tonight? Still a lot of racing left to do. Still a lot of possible green flag racing action for these drivers to work their way through. We're going to jump back now with the battle that was raging on between John Humphrey and Jorge Canales. Canales has been able to drive away, and Michael Gitchell has fallen victim to not only the truck of Justin Gibbs, but also to Canales, and he's battling right now with Humphrey. That's going to put him back into the clutches of Josh McKinney. McKinney not too far off of them, and it's a little bit of a lonely race right now for the driver in the Xfinity class lead. Gitchell runs in 14th. Lee Overton in the 14 machine all the way back in 17th. That's the next Xfinity car in line. Jump around the track just a little bit, take a look at the 90, take a look at the 88, still battling with Chris Wheeler, Tyler Rush in the 77 of Thomas Myers. Myers has been able to get the best of 3 out of, excuse me, 3 out of the 5 fellow competitors right here that he is battling with. 3 out of the 4, I should say. Just off in the distance, you can see those top 2 drivers beginning to really separate themselves as John Nichols runs in that 3rd position. He's trying to keep these drivers at bay, and way up the track goes the 27 of Tyler Rush. Back nose to tail, Wheeler, Rush, Johnson into turn 1. Down to the bottom goes Wheeler. Johnson and Rush keep it wound up at the top of the speedway. Still a car length separate them through the center of the corner, and a big gain for that 22 as Rush pads his gap just a little bit by about a car length or so, and now really beginning to step away from that 88 of Nate Johnson, who's starting to fall off pace. Haven't talked about her much here in about the last 30 minutes or so of tonight's race. Kayla McCarthy running outside of your top 5. She was up inside your top 3 for most of tonight's race, and now she finds herself a little bit behind the 8 ball outside of the top 5, running in the 8th position, closing slowly but surely on the drivers battling for position off in front of her. Can McCarthy somehow find her way back to top 5? We'll have to wait to see if it all comes all plays out that way, as we are 76 minutes into this 95-minute timed event, so just under that 20-minute remaining mark for these split decision racing triple threat drivers to see who's going to walk away with the overall win and the class wins here tonight. Very busy track, a very busy race. Let's jump around to some more of the battles out there on track. Let's jump around here as Jorge Canales and Michael Gitchell still going at it with each other. You can see Lee Overton right here just off in the distance. The 14 Xfinity ride slowly closing in on Michael Gitchell. He's got to make up a little bit of time right now, but not too much. It's definitely doable at this point in time of the race with this much racing left to go. Another battle for position on track. We'll jump back to this one between the 11 of Josh McKinney and the 9 of Adam Benefield. That's a battle for position on track, and a battle between 2 different classes. Benefield in the Xfinity machine. You can see that 9 looks to the inside now. Going to take the position away from the 11 of McKinney. McKinney's truck struggling a little bit with the long run pace here tonight. You know, I mentioned long run pace. We are now looking at last time these drivers were on to pit road was upwards of, it looks like to be about 30 laps or so. So a lot of these drivers are going to begin to eyeball pit road entry. We should see a rash of drivers head down to pit road. And now Thomas Myers with some trouble in lap traffic. That's the trouble. You can see it right there. Myers going to lose the position to McCarthy. She jumps to the 6th position now. And Nate Johnson not too far off. He hasn't been able to get through the back markers with very much ease either. And oh, contact between trucks, and oh my goodness, the 88 caught up. The 97 caught up right in front of McCarthy in the 77, and that's going to bring us to a crawl. We're going to go ahead and throw the caution flag out on that one. That's going to get these drivers slowed up, woed up, and you might as well go ahead and throw that pit strategy on out. Look for everybody to come to pit road for fuel and tires. You may see a few gamblers out there try to keep it on the track and stretch their fuel load, but I don't know. I don't think you're going to be able to stretch it the amount of laps that you're probably going to be short. Looks like most drivers are going to be about 10 laps short from making it the distance on fuel. So look for pit road to be a busy place. We'll jump back, see what happened. What do you say? Let's see if we can't see what happened here between Ziegler and Johnson. We'll jump back here. And there's the contact between the two and the 18. The 18 lifting, going sideways. More drivers caught up. The 88 gets his front clip ripped off. The 97 also involved in this one. So Jeffrey Ramsdale kind of victim of circumstance, nowhere to go between the 18 and the 2. And that's all she wrote for some of the sheet metal on multiple drivers' cars. Looks like everybody on the lead lap going to come down to pit road. Nate Johnson also joins the parade of drivers on to pit road. Your top 11 all to pit road this time by. We'll take a look back here as Michael Gitchell looks like he's going to stay out on the track. Gitchell listed off of the lead lap, 2-year Gen 6 Cup drivers. So everybody in the field is going to get a lap back here. Everybody going to get a wave around if they elect not to come to pit road this time by when pit road does open for those back markers, those lap machines. What's the fuel strategy going to be for a few of these drivers? I mean, is it worth coming down to pit road? Is it not worth coming to pit road? If you can't make it on fuel and you're gonna have to come to pit road, you might as well do it under caution conditions. You're gonna minimize the time on the track lost. So it just makes sense to try to give yourself the best shot at making your way up through the field. And just like that, look at that, a lot of drivers are indeed going to come to pit road. Michael Gitchell going to bring a slew of drivers multiple laps down back to pit road. A few of them going to stay out there on track. Let's take a look at Ryan Johnson, who won the race off of pit road. He'll have Lucas Gortman, John Nichols, and Chris Wheeler lined up behind him. Still a handful of drivers in front or in between race leader Ryan Johnson in that pace car off in the distance. Struggling a little bit with double words here tonight. I don't know if anybody's noticed it. I've noticed it. "82 minutes into this 95-minute timed event, we are down to the nitty-gritty. This is when drivers are going to be a little more aggressive, and as we've seen for the first time in a long time, A full course caution being thrown during racing conditions for the track being blocked up and multiple cars being involved in a racing incident. Will we see drivers be a little more aggressive now that they're packed back up with each other? Some of these drivers staying out, receiving a wave around. They're praying these drivers get that racy. They're praying that there's another big one that can bring out the caution for them to try to get themselves back on the back one more lap back from the race leader, and that would put a good handful of those drivers back onto the lead lap. Well, we thought Justin Gibbs was only 2 laps down, but he is actually 3 laps down. Looks like a handful of drivers that were 4 laps down that got the wave around. They are now only 3 laps down, so there you can see all the way from 23rd on back, down 4 laps or more. A tough break for multiple drivers out there tonight. We've got ourselves another retirement. Looks like the 88 of Nate Johnson. He's going to slowly fall through the running order as the pace car ducks off, and we're set to go back. Green flag racing. Ryan Johnson hits the loud pedal, and away we go back. Green flag racing here from Homestead Miami Speedway. Just 11 minutes remaining on the stopwatch. Does anybody have anything for Tiny Horse at the front, who's starting to pull away? We'll jump around to some of the racing action all over the track. 27-17 all involved right there. 3 wide battle back in the pack. That is for position off of the lead lap, but still for position. Contact between an Xfinity driver and more contact. The 13 goes into the outside wall, right across the nose of another truck into the outside wall. We stay. Green flag racing. Looks like Michael Ayward has had some trouble, as well as the 13 of Jacob Hirsch. There you see the 27, the 77 to 81 contact between Gilbert and Myers. 77 still trying to save it. Oh my gosh, Thomas Myers. Looks like he may have looped it there. Looped it indeed. He's going to get it fired back up and running in the right direction. Myers was all sorts of loose, and you see him still trying to save that car down the front stretch. Unfortunately, not able to catch up with the car, and it goes right on around the 81. Going to duck to the bottom of the racetrack, and caution flag flies. Caution flags flies. We've got trouble. Track is a mess. Tell you what, let's see if we can see what happened here. Let's jump back. Looks like Justin Gibbs was involved with an on-track incident. There you can see him. He's going to go around right into the 48. And oh no, right back up the track and nowhere to go for Kenneth Fonseca. I believe that's who it was. Let's take another look here. Is that Fonseca? Yes, it is. Fonseca caught up. He's going to hit the inside wall. Tough break for him and his crew. A lot of drivers caught up and involved in this one. Tough break for everybody. And that's going to bring us to a crawl once again. And Ryan Johnson going to come to pit road. This is an interesting deal here. We're going to have less than 10 minutes remaining. And Ryan Johnson, Dave Gilbert, John Nichols, Thomas Myers all come to pit road. What's the strategy behind this one? This could come back to bite these drivers. But with just, you know, I say that, but then I look at the timing and scoring. I look and I see, you know, there's only, I believe, 11 drivers left on the lead lap. 4 of them come to pit road. Yes, there's drivers with tires not very old, but you are now in a very good spot with the freshest tires on track, and you're only going to have a handful of drivers to try to be able to get by. You're going to be able to restart this race in front of those back markers. So I think this may have been a smart move by Johnson, Gilbert, Nichols, and Myers. Myers is going to have a hard-fought battle as he's been into the inside wall after getting loose off of turn 4 and chasing the back end of the car down the straightaway. So as Myers may be a little bit slow because of the damage, he is going to have those fresh tires, so he's going to have a slight advantage. I don't know. I thought we pretty much seen who was going to finish where and in what order, and just like that, drop of the hat, everything going to go out the window. Lee Overton now takes over the class lead of the Xfinity class, and Jorge Canales going to take the truck class lead. There you can see that black, blue, and gold 71 Ford F-150 piloted by Jorge Canales, as looks like Ryan Johnson and some of this field going to go to the top of the track. They'll get themselves back in the right running order. And we'll get set to go back green flag racing once again. And this is going to get crazy. Not just because there was a recent caution. We've seen 2 full course cautions in less than 10 minutes, something that we typically do not see here in Split Decision Racing Triple Threat Series. But more importantly, we are now down to, we're at the 90-minute mark. There's only about 5 minutes of racing on the stopwatch left. So time is the enemy right now to the drivers with those fresh tires. And with that being said, these drivers on the old tires, what kind of moves are they going to be willing to make? Are they going to be willing to risk it for the biscuit, if you like my saying? That is one of my favorite sayings out there. Are drivers willing to risk it for the biscuit to have a shot at walking away with the race win? I mean, what are you willing to do? Where are you at in the point standings? Does that play into your decision? I don't know what the crew chiefs and spotters are talking to their drivers about, but they're getting an earful. Some of them already on the mics just telling them, let me finish this thing out on my own. Just tell me where the cars are at. And we're getting set to go back green flag racing. iRacing official pace car ready to duck off. This time around, field makes their way single file back into turn 3. And we'll get set to fire things off once again here from Homestead, Miami Speedway. Race number 9 coming to a close. Who's going to walk away with the race win? Pace car off on the gas. Green flag flies as Lucas Gortman crosses the line. Gortman going to cross the line, and we see Ryan Johnson off in the distance. He's going to make a move to the bottom of the racetrack. He's already up to 6th. Right behind Richard Brian Mueller. Let's go back and check this battle out. Watch these drivers move to the front. Dave Gilbert with a big move to the bottom of the racetrack. Not sure if that was intentional or of avoidance. He's going to fall off pace just a little bit, and another driver going to fall victim to the fresh tires on the 38 machine. Johnson now up to 5th. He's looking for more side by side with Tyler Rush for the 4th position. We got a battle between drivers back in the pack as well. Benefield, Fonseca, and John Peterson going at it. McKinney going to get by Fonseca for 14th, and he's going to give that spot right on back to Fonseca. John Peterson now getting by McKinney for 15th. As the 38 has gotten inside the top 5, he runs now in 4th. Was it the right move at the front of this field? Lucas Gortman leads the field. He's got Caleb McCarthy right behind him. Ryan Johnson getting by and battling with Chris Wheeler right now. They'll pull even once again down the back stretch. Big move by the 27, trying to break some of the draft, catching the car a little bit. And Johnson, with those fresh tires, he's going to make his way up and around Wheeler and into a third spot here tonight. Close battle between McCarthy and Gortman for the race lead. Don't look now, because here comes Ryan Johnson. Battle for the Xfinity class lead starting to develop. Lee Overton and Adam Benefiel right there running with each other. Jorge Canales in the 43. The 11, I apologize. He's got a 43 on the side of his truck. Josh McKinney, they're running 12th and 13th on track. That's for the truck class lead. As we continue to watch Lee Overton lead this Xfinity class back to the front of the field to this battle that's still raging on and unfolding. Just a little under 2 minutes remaining on the stopwatch here tonight. It says 1 to go at the top left of your screen, but we're going to have another one around. We will not see the white flag just yet. 17 of Gortman's going to have to go around the track at least another 2 or 3 times here tonight if he's going to want to secure this race win here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Going to grab the checkered flag if he can keep these hungry drivers behind him. McCarthy with a big move to try to block the run by Ryan Johnson. It's not going to work out, and Johnson's going to take over second spot. Down on the bottom of the raceway, he's going to set his sights on that 17 of Gortman. Can he get the job done with just 45 seconds remaining? We're going to have 1, if not 2 laps left to decide this thing. And here comes McCarthy with a run back to the inside of Johnson, almost touching on corner exit. They'll stack up off of turn 2 down the backstretch once again into turn 3. Lucas Gortman with a 1/10 of a second race advantage. Johnson with a big run. Here comes McCarthy again. Off of the corner, big move to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to break that draft. It's not going to work. Ryan Johnson is there. He turns the car down to the bottom, almost sliding into Gortman. That's going to let the 17 slip away, and I think that was the move, and it may have cost the 38, because here comes McCarthy back to the bottom. This is going to be it. I believe we're going to see the white flag final lap this time around. Yes, indeed. White flag comes out. Final lap here from Homestead. Gortman has the clear advantage. And that is going to do it for the race. Lucas Gortman walking away with the checkered flag. Lee Overton gonna walk away with the Xfinity class win. Jorge Canales walking away with the truck win here tonight from Homestead. And we see a wounded warrior out there just trying to get his car across the line to finish things out here tonight. What a run by that 17, man. I'm telling you, I thought it was a gamble. Obviously, him and his crew chief knew something different. And how about the smoke show out of that 17 of Lucas Gortman, getting the job done here tonight and walking away with the overall win as well as the Cup class win. We're going to step away for a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. back trackside at the conclusion of another great race here in the Triple Threat Series for Split Decision Racing. What a night. We've seen some crazy strategy go on towards the end of tonight's race. What a run it was. And now let's see if we can get into some of our post-race interviews. Let's see if we can't dial up the driver that walked away with the truck class win. Let's see if we can't talk to our good buddy inside that 71 Ford F-150. Jorge, it's Dave. You got a copy? Hey, nothing much, man. Watching some great racing. How was it for you out there in the truck tonight? Yeah, it was a great points day for you and your 71 crew and the Ford team here tonight. You talked about walking away with those stage wins. Um, Almost grabbing the pole position for the truck class as well. So I mean, an all-around great night for you and your crew. With race 9 now being in the bag and about halfway through the season, what's your thoughts moving forward from here? And are you eyeballing that championship trophy just yet? Well, Jorge, if you focus in on the rest of the races like you did this one here tonight, it should have a great outcome for you as we move into the next few races and into the championship rundown. Nashville Super Speedway on tap next week, so that's going to be an entire beast unto itself. So before we let you go tonight and enjoy tonight's race or class win, I should say, would you like to give any special thanks, shout outs, love yous back home to anybody? Indeed. Well, Jorge, again, congratulations on the truck class win here tonight. And we look forward to trying to catch up with you a little bit later on throughout the season. So, again, my man, congratulations, and we'll try to speak again. All right, there you have it. Jorge Canales walking away with the truck class win here tonight from Homestead Miami Speedway. And that's going to move us right along to our next class winner of the evening. Let's see if we can't dial up the driver in that 14 Xfinity ride. Let's see if we can't have a brief few moments and have some words with Lee Overton. It's Dave in the booth. You got your ears on, bud? Going pretty good. Not as good as you. I don't have a checkered flag to walk away home with, man. I mean, can I borrow yours? Yeah, there was a lot of different action all over the racetrack, a lot of different fun to be had. I want to talk about some of that, the last few laps, the last few minutes of the race. We had two quick cautions tonight towards the end of tonight's race, something we normally don't see. What went through your head, and what was the chatter on the radio?
I'll talk on the last one coming to like I think we got like 4 to go, 5 to go. Um, Michael had just been taken out there, so we were the rest of the extended field. Looking at my data, we were all in the same set, and we had I think 6 to 8 laps of green flag laps on them, and John in the 16 pit. So we decided to split the decision, and I didn't realize like I knew that the next gens would go to the front of the field, and the other classes would get filtered back, but I didn't realize that he only started like 2 rows behind me on fresh tires, so I did not want to see that last caution, but I just get try to get out of there as quickly as I could and was able to maintain a gap.
Yeah, it definitely got interesting with the different tire strategies there at the end, and fortunately enough for you and the 14 crew, man, you were able to put the power down on the restart, give yourself a little bit of a gap, and then kind of maintain that throughout the those final few minutes of tonight's race. All in all, great race for you and the 14 crew. You guys stayed right around that top 10 position through a majority of the night. You were up there at the top of your class the majority of the night as well, so congratulations with that one. I want to look forward to next week's maybe I can talk here in a second. To next week's race at Nashville Super Speedway. A little bit of an oddball race if you want my opinion, but how are you and the crew approaching that one?
Hmm, that's a good question. I haven't even turned laps on in the Xfinity set at Nashville, because I'm the one who building the next gen set and the truck set. So I don't even know what to expect. I know it's bumpy, and I'm sure it's going to be a battle of attrition, and whoever can get like from my experience there, it's really like you can have different lines on entry and whatnot, but it's all about the exit there. That if you can get your power down and get a straight exit, you're gonna have a good night there. But it's a matter of it's a 1.5 lane track or so or groove, so it's going to be a lot of fighting for the bottom there, and especially with like the next gen cars are going to be at a higher rate of speed in the middle of the corner. It's going to be it's going to be interesting to say the least. I'm happy that I at least got a Homestead out of the way to get my feet wet and not just jumping right into Nashville.
Well, I like the fact that you said your thoughts on it were a little bit of a laugh there. That's beautiful right there because I have no clue what to expect going there. It's going to be a crazy race next week. But most importantly, my man, congratulations walking away with the class win here in the Xfinity class tonight from Homestead Miami Speedway. Before we let you go, though, Lee, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I want to thank you and thank the rest of the league for inviting me in here. It's been nice to work with you guys over the last, I don't know, 2 months or so, and now getting to race with you guys has been a pleasure. Like I said, I wasn't sure what to expect, but man, the racing blew my expectations out of the water. I honestly had a blast that entire time. I mean, it was a grind, but that was just a lot of fun. You're on your toes a lot. Just again, thank you for having me and inviting me. Got to thank Zencaster, our primary sponsor here. You saw with the breast cancer awareness pink on the car this month. And then just thank the rest of the guys over at Overton Speed Shop for their help this week building the sets and doing some testing with me.
Absolutely, my man. Well, again, congratulations on the class win, and we'll see if we can't catch up with you again.
All right, sounds good, guys. You have a good night.
All right, there you have it. Final few words out of the 14 of Lee Overton walks away with the Xfinity Class win here tonight from Homestead Miami Speedway. And it looks like we had a little bit of audio technical issues during our post-race interview with the truck class winner Jorge Canales. He walked away with 2 stage wins in a pole position for the truck class. Unfortunately, we had some audio issues. We'll get those ironed on out. We got them ironed on out, I should say. So we'll try to catch up with Jorge before next week's race at Nashville Super Speedway. Catch in a few words with him, give him his credit and time on the air where credit and time on the air is due. So Jorge, your entire team, my apologies. Lo siento, amigo. Uh, it happens. Sorry about that. We'll move right on along now, though, to the driver that walked away with the overall class win in the lead at the end of tonight's race. A crazy little finish. Let's see if we can dial up and have a few words with the driver inside of that 17 Gen 6 machine. Lucas, it's Dave. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. I got everybody now. We got our little bugs fixed. I had to shoo away the hamster chewing on the cord, you know? I mean, they get hungry when they power your PC. No, I'm just kidding,
Right?
my man. Heck of a run for you tonight. Let's get down to some business, though. 2 late race full course cautions, something that we're not typical. We don't typically see that. We don't typically see those admin thrown full course cautions. What went through your head when those came out, and what went into the strategy of staying out on the track to gain that top spot for what ended up being the final run?
Yeah, so when we finished the second stage, it was very close on fuel, and I was trying to save fuel, and I was just a little short, and I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to play out through the whole run. But then we got that caution where majority of us, I do believe all of us, pitted there um, to get enough fuel, get fresh tires because we had a long run there. And then we ran only a couple of laps. I don't really know exactly how many, but I felt like it wasn't enough to pit again. And I seen Ryan Johnson pit, and I was like, okay, we'll see if he can work through the field. And darn, he did. He definitely did. And it was a heck of a battle there, but I'm glad I made that pit call and glad it all worked out because, wow.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. Ryan did pit. He gave up that top spot to you, and the lap difference was a 7 lap difference on the tires. Was almost enough, but not enough, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if you won by. I hate to use Fast and Furious quotes here, but an inch or a mile, man. Your name goes down in the book, and you walk away with the checkered flag. So, I mean, nothing else really matters, does it?
Yeah, I mean that's it, like the win is, the what you come here for, like you can points race, but at this point I'm close on the bubble of the playoffs and, from, missing a race or two here and throughout the season, and I was like the easiest way to make sure I'm locked in is to get that win. Like I know Kayla's got to win, Ryan's got to win. Um It was very tight there. I think I chopped off Ryan's nose a little bit. I have to look back. If I did, I apologize to him. But it was very tight racing, and I had to go for the win, do everything I could, and now I don't have that worry going into the final race of the regular season, and we're in the playoffs, which is a great big relief now. Going in there and just race.
Absolutely, a big weight lifted off of your shoulders, knowing that you're in the post race. You've got a shot to go for a championship. And as far as chopping people's noses off, I think Team Taco would be mad if you didn't at least try to make sure you won. I mean, I know me, I would have been upset, and I'm not even part of the team, but I would have been like, "Well, man, come on." But not, anyways. Heck of a job by you and the entire crew out there tonight. You ran well for the entire race, so hats off with a great finish here tonight, walking away with the first win on the season for you, securing that championship spot. Uh, Before we get to the thank yous and loves yous, what's your thoughts on next week? I mean, we're heading to kind of a crapshoot, almost like a Talladega event here. So, what do you think is going to come into play? What do you think the biggest factor is going to be next week at Nashville?
Nashville Super Speedway, that's a tough track. That really is. It's a difficult one. It's a very bumpy track, but it's got a lot of character. A track that a lot of people compare it to is Dover, but it's a lot different. You think it's like it runs like Chicagoland, but then you have to check up in the corners because they're so tight. And it pushes. The truck car is going to push so hard out of the corners if you carry too much speed in it, thinking it's a mile and a half when really it's a 1.2 mile or a 1 mile track, something like that. But we came into Homestead, a track that has haunted us, in all forms of everything in general. This track has haunted us, and we won. So we can go into Nashville Super Speedway with this confidence and figure out in practice what the car is going to do on a long run, short runs, and hopefully go out there and get two in a row.
Absolutely. We hope to see you back in the post race interviews, man. It was a heck of a job here tonight for you. So we'll be rooting for you again next week. So before we let you go and enjoy this first win and your spot in the championship, now would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the other side of the state here down in Myrtle Beach?
Yes, sir. Yeah, gotta love the old Myrtle Beach. I gotta thank my wife, daughter, my whole family, supporting me for doing this. Back row sim racing, Taco Lover Racing, everyone there. My teammates on Taco Lover Racing, Ryan, Kayla, Nate, Keith, Matt, and then also Back Row Sim Racing as well. All those guys, John Humphrey, Marty. I Jamie, I think I got everybody there. If I forgot anybody, you guys know who you are. But yeah, just thank you for broadcasting it. Thank Dave for and all the admins and split decisions and for putting this on. It's an amazing league and put on some amazing races, and I look forward to the next one.
I couldn't agree more, my man. And again, congratulations on the win and congratulations and welcome to the championship chase. And we'll see if we can't catch up with you again before this season's out.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Lucas Gortman walking away with the first win of the year for him and that 17 crew. His Ford Mustang was the fastest when it needed to be. The 7 lap difference on the tires wasn't enough to make that big of a difference. And Gortman gonna hold off the hard charging Ryan Johnson for the overall race win. And he's gonna punch his ticket to the postseason. Lucas Gortman walks away with the checkered flag. What a run. What an evening here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Man, I tell you what, I don't think it would have been any better of a way to end tonight's race than with that short little shootout run that we had here under the lights at Homestead Miami Speedway. Next week, we'll fire things off at Nashville Super Speedway. That's going to be a whole nother monster all unto its own. Tune in for that one. You don't want to miss some crazy good racing action. And the Heartland, Music City, USA, Nashville Super Speedway gonna host next week's race right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with producers hitting the buttons. You hear the music, you know the tunes, you know the sounds. It's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results, walking away with the top spot in the Cup class and overall the 17 of Lucas Gortman. Ryan Johnson slotting home in second. Third place belongs to Kayla McCarthy. Tyler Rush back in fourth. Chris Wheeler rounds out your top five. Thomas Myers on his 77 machine gonna slot home in sixth. Seventh place belongs to Andy Turner. Richard Ryan Mueller walking away in eighth. Ninth place to the 81 of Dave Gilbert. Highest running Xfinity class car, your Xfinity winner here tonight. Driver inside of the 14 machine, the Lee Overton walks away in 10th. 11th place belongs to your truck class winner. That's right, the 71 of Jorge Canales. The Ford truck of John Humphrey gonna walk away in 12th. 13th belongs to John Peterson. Keith Fonseca slots home in 14th position here tonight, rounding out your top 15. The 93 of Justin Gibbs. Josh McKinney walking away in 16th tonight. Adam Benefield gonna pilot the 9 home to 17th place. The finish 18th from the track tonight is Jonathan Kuzmano. 19th, William Klingbeil. Matthew Lutz gonna round out your top 20. Adam Dell gonna walk away in 21st. 22nd tonight to Jeffrey Ramsdell. John Nichols right behind him. 47 of Vinny Tabby gonna walk away 24th. 25th tonight, Jacob Hirsch. Patrick Anderson gonna finish 26th, slotting home. 27th from Homestead tonight is the 36th of Richard Crane. Michael Kitchell finishes tonight's race back in the 28th position. 29th to Nathan Manwaring. Michael Ayward rounds out your top 30. Nate Johnson, Joss Beaver, Thomas Teagan, Tyler Ziegler, David Desparios gonna round out your top 35. 36th spot tonight belongs to Matthew Wheeler, and Brian Crocker finishes tonight's race back in 37th. That's going to do it for your unofficial race results. That's going to do it for us. If you haven't already, continue to keep pushing and climbing to the top. Tell your friends and family. Tell your friends and family. Go ahead. Come on over. Drop these drivers that thumbs up. Click subscribe. Smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. So with that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.